This 3 hour movie genuinely felt like 30 minutes. That's probably the biggest compliment I can give the Odyssey. I never once checked my phone, looked at my watch,
Out the cap.
or felt like the pacing dragged. Before we begin, this is a spoiler heavy review. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, go watch it first because I'm discussing everything. No! Everything. Now we're back. But I want to be transparent. I haven't actually read The Odyssey by Homer. I knew the major story, beats, and some of the key moments going in, but I'm reviewing this as a movie first rather than judging it as a page for page adaptation.
This is so boring.
That kind of ruins the joy as well, like looking at the book fans. But yeah, let's do it. So if Nolan changed something from the original poem, I'm judging whether it worked for the film. But honestly, in my Latin class, we actually wrote about this, so I knew some of it. But with that out of the way, let's talk about why this movie completely exceeded my expectations. Well, first of all, the biggest reason this movie works is Matt Damon as Odysseus. He never feels like the invincible Greek hero who's better than everyone else. Instead, he feels like a leader who's carrying the weight of every decision he's ever made. One thing I really appreciated was how guilty he felt whenever his choices led to people dying. From what I've heard about the original story, Odysseus can come across as much more pragmatic and less emotionally affected by sacrificing people to complete his journey. Here, Nolan makes him visibly carry that guilt. And I honestly think that makes him a stronger character. You understand why everyone follows him. You understand why his men respect. Even when they disagree with him, they still believe he's the best chance they have of making it home. My favorite scenes in this movie were probably every interaction between Odysseus and Athena. It's not because it's Zendaya, it's because of the conversation. They weren't just exposition. They became conversations about faith, faith in the gods, faith in destiny, and most importantly, for yourself. Instead of Athena simply solving problems for him, she pushes him to become the man he's capable of becoming. And I thought that was perfect. She really helped him every step of the way, but he had to see it first. And I think those scenes added so much emotional depth. One thing I actually loved involved Calypso. Instead of making it feel like the gods forced her to let Odysseus leave, Nolan makes it feel like she's wrestling with that decision herself. That gives her so much more humanity. It's a small change, but those little character moments made the movie feel more emotional than I expected. I also love the little bits of foreshadowing throughout the movie. Lines like, "My father is out there, I feel it," or "We'll be heading out west." It was great payoff. But at first, they seemed like ordinary dialogue. Then later, everything clicks together. Those little details make the movie even better on a rewatch. The siren sequence might have been my favorite part of the entire movie. The atmosphere, the tension, the visuals, everything about it worked. Also, seeing Odysseus's pain throughout that scene and seeing that one soldier go and swim because he lost too much brethren, lost too much. He was just ready to go there. But another surprise, but not really a surprise, was Jon Bernthal. He didn't have a massive role, but every time he was on screen, he completely stole the scene. I love seeing him as the king of Sparta. The cast in general was stacked. There are so many recognizable actors, but somehow nobody felt completely wasted. Everybody got their moment. I also love seeing how much Odysseus's soldiers respected him. That relationship made every loss feel heavier because these weren't just random warriors. These were people willing to follow him to the end. Yo, that one witch who turned his soldiers into pigs, that was a grueling scene. Wow. But look, now let's talk about the few things I wasn't crazy about. First, Tom Holland. I don't think he was bad. He just felt like a little flat compared to everyone else around him. Maybe it's because the rest of the cast was delivering such incredible performances. Maybe it's because I still see Spider Man whenever I watch him. Either way, I expected a little more. I also wanted Robert Pattinson's character to be a bit more intimidating. I understand he was supposed to be cowardly. That was clearly intentional. Like, look at the scene of Odysseus taking on everyone. He's just hiding and screaming, "Yo, get that! Yo, get that!" Like, come on, dude. But I still kept waiting for him to become a more dangerous villain. He still served his purpose in the story, but I personally wanted just a little more from him. And finally, the Giants. Not because they were bad, but because they genuinely terrified me, dude. I'm someone who watches horror movies for fun, and those scenes still made me uncomfortable. Like, look at that. Ooh, that dock scene when they're in the water, bro. Insane. But yeah, overall, I had an amazing time with the Odyssey. This movie reminded me why Christopher Nolan is one of the best directors working today. The performances were incredible. The pacing never slowed down. The emotional moments landed. The action was exciting. And even though I haven't read Homer's The Odyssey, this movie made me want to go back and experience the original story for myself. For me, that's one of the biggest compliments you can give an adaptation. I'd give this movie a 9 out of 10. If you've seen it, let me know your favorite scene. And if you've actually read the Odyssey, tell me which changes from the original poem you liked or didn't like the most. On the left is my vlog, and on the right is my links. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe and leave a comment of what you thought about the movie because I loved it, man.